Principles and Practice of Surveying. Question and Answer Review. Question 14. Call of the question. Living and working in a small community, there are only a few surveyors providing services to local businesses. A local surveyor/business owner unexpectedly passes away. You are hired to finish a survey of a 500-acre ranch where the survey was about halfway complete before this old guy died. When the owner of the ranch asks you to certify to the complete boundary survey, the part you surveyed, as well as the part the older surveyor surveyed, what should you tell him to do? Certify only to the work you performed and be liable for the work you performed. Certify to the entire boundary and be liable for only the work you performed. Certify to only the work you performed and be liable for the entire survey. Certify to the entire boundary and be liable for the entire survey. So what is your certification going to say? And based on your certification, how much of this survey will you be liable for? That's the main question.
Many people tell us that they are going to take the FS or PS exam just to see what it is like. Don't waste hundreds of dollars. Take a practice test. Order a full-length practice exam book and find the same categories, types, and number of questions as the actual exam.
Welcome to the Dude's Ranch. This guy made his millions, retired early, and is living in beautiful Montana. And after some different construction work, site work, stuff like that, he decides he needs a boundary survey for his entire 500 acres. Wow, jackpot. What a great job to take. But unfortunately, your friend and neighbor, fellow surveyor, died before he could complete the survey. And now it's your job to finish up the last 250 acres. Your main concern should never be liability, but it should always be there when you weigh the calculus of what to certify. Now, you'll never be put in jail for certifying someone else's survey. That is a criminal wrong, and the state goes after you. But what happens if our old surveyor who died screwed up, and his screw-up was not found by you during your survey because you didn't resurvey his stuff? 5, 10 years goes by, and the landowner discovers the old guy made a mistake. This poor guy is dead, and his estate and business have long been closed. Now, if his estate and his business are closed, then what are you going to do when this landowner calls? Because if the old guy's not liable, then the landowner, I bet you $5, is going to try to sue you. And that landowner is going to want you to pay up for the old guy's mistakes. And based on what choice you make, you could or could not be liable for that guy's mistakes. There are 4 things that must be proven in order for a surveyor to be found negligent: duty, breach, causation, and damages. And we'll go through our duty and breach specifically, and we'll kind of glaze over the last 2, but we'll go over them. Duty is where the plaintiff, the surveyor, owes a duty of reasonable care to the defendant, in this case, the landowner. What's the duty? The duty is to perform a good land survey. What does that mean? What is a good land survey? That will be determined by your state. But you have to do a reasonably good job performing the land survey. That's your job. If you, the surveyor, do not perform a good land survey, then you have breached your professional duty as a professional land surveyor. In order to determine whether you've breached, typically it's when you have failed to follow an industry standard practice. So you're the surveyor and you fail to follow junior-senior rights. You're the surveyor and you fail to honor the monuments above distance or bearing, priority of calls. You've done a bad or a mediocre job as a land surveyor, and you have fallen below the duty of a surveyor. If you have this duty and you fall below it, then you meet these other two standards, which are discussed more in our test prep modules, then you are negligent. And if you are negligent, then you got to pay up, which sucks. So let me ask you this question again. If you performed a land survey of half the property, and your fellow surveyor performed a land survey of half the property, would you put your life, your career, your house, your retirement fund, your business on the line by certifying to a survey that you never did? I would say, heck no. So the correct answer will be certify only to the work you performed and be liable for only the work you performed. You did the work, you're liable for it. But if you did not do the work, don't take the liability. What do you tell the guy? I'm sorry, sir, but I have to resurvey this property. He is going to hate your guts for saying that. But, being a professional does not mean you're always going to be loved. So, A is the correct answer. Would you like even more great content on the Principles and Practice exam? Please join me at NLC Prep/PS for a full-length, completely up-to-date PS prep course where we go over every major PS topic in gory detail, and we teach you all the essentials you need to know to pass the PS exam on the first try. Join me at nlcprep.com/PS.